Well, the way I see it, we've already had Hungarian Dracula, Booby Head Dracula, Robo Dracula, Not Worth a Second Season Dracula, Fuck You, I'm Christopher Lee Dracula, Gerard Butler Dracula, not Gerard Butler Dracula, still not Gerard Butler Dracula. For some reason this movie doesn't contain Dracula. I call the little girl a bitch to her face Dracula, and of course, I don't let go of people touching my things! Dracula. Superhero Dracula almost sounds reasonable.
This time, making Christmas, la la la. It's almost here and we can't wait, so ring the bells and celebrate. 'Cause when the full moon starts to climb, we'll all sing out, it's Christmas time.
Welcome one and all to Halloween on Christmas 2. You know, I haven't done one of these in 2 years, but I'm back and ready to bitch and moan in spectacular fashion because, let's be honest, what else would I be doing with my life? Anyway, a while back, Universal announced that they were rebooting their monster movies into a shared movie universe, much like the way Marvel Studios is doing with their films. Personally, I have no problem with this. There were several crossovers with these monsters like way back in the day. I mean, one of my favorites being Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein. Ask your parents, kids. Dracula Untold is apparently the first film in this shared monster movie universe, and to all of you who are against this and are complaining about it, guys, well, better this than I Frankenstein. Oh. Dracula Untold transports us to the Middle Ages, where Vlad the Impaler rules over Transylvania and is forced to surrender his son, as well as 1,000 Transylvanian boys, for the Sultan's army. When he inevitably refuses, the Sultan declares war, and in an act of desperation, Vlad goes to the mountain caves to confront an ancient creature for help. The creature, an ancient vampire played in a rather chilling performance by Charles Dance, gives Vlad the powers and the strengths of a vampire, so that he may defend his people. And if Vlad can go 3 days without drinking any human blood, he will revert right back to being human. When I saw the trailer for Dracula Untold, I had absolutely no ambition to see it whatsoever. I thought it was just another obnoxious, cash grab reboot, and the trailers just were not winning me over. After seeing it though, I surprisingly enjoyed this film. I'm not going to sit here and act like it's perfect. It has a lot of flaws and just a lot of moments that just straight up don't make any fucking sense. However, despite its flaws, the film still manages to be highly entertaining. It's a fun movie. The effects and the action scenes, for the most part, are very well done. There's that one scene where he makes the fist out of bats that you've seen in the trailer, but there's also another scene where Vlad literally takes on an entire army of 10,000 men by himself, and that alone was worth the price of admission. This has some moments of serious dread, but for the most part is action-adventure, which is perfectly fine. It's good to finally see a different take on this beloved character. I mean, the Mummy remake did the same thing, and I really liked that movie. No, I'm serious. I liked this movie. And the sequel. Not the third one, but Mummy Returns was cool. Fuck you, I do what I want. But the thing that really makes this version of Dracula work as well as it does is who they got to play Dracula. Luke Evans was perfect in this. Luke Evans can switch easily from being empathetic to being a man consumed with hatred, and thus it makes it very easy for us to care about him. While not as good a performance, we haven't had a Dracula this good since Gary Oldman. I mean, look at those eyes and tell me you don't see the fucking Prince of Darkness. Charles Dance gets a limited role as the ancient vampire who gives Vlad his powers, and while he isn't on screen for long, when he is oozing with dread, giving the best performance in the entire film with limited screen time.
Sometimes the world no longer needs a hero. Sometimes what it needs is a monster.
And you believe you know what it is to be a monster? You have no idea. But I'm going to show you.
Sarah Gadon and Art Parkinson also do good jobs portraying Vlad's wife and son. The film spends a great deal of time with them, so that when things start going down, we can actually care about what happens to them. and understand why Vlad is willing to go to lengths beyond human understanding in order to save them as well as his people. The only actor that was seriously miscasted and, well, I guess there's no other way to say it, fucking wasted in this film was Dominic Cooper as the Sultan. He just gives a very unconvincing performance, sporting this terrible fucking foreign fake accent throughout the entire thing, and it just did not work. There's also this whole subplot about him and Vlad and how they grew up together, and it's not developed at all. Like, they barely go into this fact, so when they do fight in the end, it lacks any adult dramatic weight. That all being said, I can't ignore all the bad parts of this movie, because there's a few. There was the Dominic Cooper moment, like I mentioned, but there's just other moments that, my god, do not make any sense. For example, on the final night that Vlad has his powers in this film, he's sitting on a balcony. He's not sitting, he's leaning over a balcony, and he's witnessing, he sees the army coming in the distance, and he says something to the effect of, I will lose my powers soon. Daylight is almost upon us. Dude! Go kill them now! You can see the army coming to you. Why are you waiting for them to come to you? Just go there and kill them now. You don't have to wait! Like, seriously, what was stopping you? There's also another moment where the Sultan attacks Vlad with a shit ton of silver. And yeah, it doesn't make any sense, because how does he know that Vlad's allergic to silver? It was never revealed to him at any point in the movie. He just magically fucking knows. Sultan intuition, I guess. I don't fucking know. On top of this, there are other moments that are just incredibly fucking predictable, to the point where I was just sitting there in my chair going, okay, cliche's coming, cliche's coming, cliche's coming. There it is! There's that annoying schmuck cliche I know and love. But this movie's biggest problem is that it is 100% neutered by its PG-13 rating. This movie should have been a hard R gore fest. And I know what you might be thinking, you know, you don't really need an endless amount of blood and gore in a horror film, but the thing is, this movie is really not a horror film, it's action-adventure, and with how violent it is, the gore and the blood would have only made it more realistic. It's actually kind of a waste when you think about it. Overall, Dracula Untold may not be a step in the best direction for Marvel's monster movie universe, but it's a step in a decent direction. This movie could have been so much worse than it was, and I applaud it for giving us something new with this character, as well as being a highly entertaining action film on top of that. I'm giving Dracula Untold a B-. It's not a perfect movie, it's barely a good movie, but it's at least a fun movie. So what is your favorite Dracula movie? Please let me know in the comment box. And if you like this video, please hit the subscribe button and join me in a few days for my next Halloween on Christmas review. Thank you.